Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, kindly subscribe, like, share and comment. So on this space we talk to entrepreneurs where they come and share their story with us, how it started hadi mahali wamefika. So on today's video we have Chef Kate. She's going to share her entrepreneurial journey with us. I know you'll get inspired, and if you do, hit that subscribe button. So hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good to hear. Yeah, welcome. I'm Chef Marykate, a chef by profession, and I also train people how to bake and decorate cakes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let me take you back. When did you where did that inspiration for you to start being baking cakes or being a chef start from?
Mine is quite a journey in itself because mine is a change in career. When I finished high school, I enrolled and I did business administration and I even became employed, but only for a few months. That's where I nearly realized that was not my thing. You know, the way after Form 4 you're rushed to do something. So that was the only thing I thought I could do that at that time. And then now, after staying at home for a few months, that's when now the passion started developing in mostly cooking. It started first with cooking and with baking, but I never knew how to bake. But pole pole, God brought people in my life who taught me with the things that I had at that time, because I'm from a humble beginning. So things like an oven, we didn't have things like baking tins, hatukuwa nazo. So pole pole, it became quite an interesting journey of the way God was unfolding things until nikajipata I've enrolled in a chef school. The name is Top Chefs Culinary Institute in Parklands. So now from there, that's when now the venture into being a chef started. I do cakes, wedding cakes, birthday cakes, special occasion cakes, any type of cakes that you want. I do that. If you also want cupcakes, I will also make for you. Yes.
Now it's a change of career. How did your parents or your siblings take this?
It was quite challenging for them because not at a family vile, but my mom, number one, she was very understanding because she saw how miserable I was. Sorry for that term, but yenye it wasn't me. And she realized it wasn't me. So she told me, just do what your heart decides. If you're to resign, then where to resign. So I resigned, but I got some backlash here and there. Oh, we umekata kazi. You know the way people can tell you had a good job, umekata, but I knew that is not where I wanted to be. So now from there, I decided, let me just let God take control. So my life from there henceforth, it's been events unfolding, which I can say is not out of the strength kama sisi binadamu. Ni Mungu tu, ukiangalia baadaye, ukiangalia unaona it is God who was directing me up to where I am sasa mpaka sai.
Okay. So unaweza to take us through your journey now mpaka wakati ulikuwa professional chef, making income. Now you have students you train.
So, number one, I told you when the desire of baking and cooking started, number one, we didn't have an oven.
Yeah.
Number two, hatukuwa hata na jiko ile ya makaa. Unaona yenye unaweza sema utaweka, you know that traditional baking, we didn't have. So what happened is one of my childhood friends, I went and talked to her. At that time, she had enrolled at Kenya Poly before it became TUK, akafanya short course in baking. So she went and she gave me her recipe book. And then now, I went again and told her, now you've given me this, but sina oven, now how do I bake? So we remembered, enye kuna venye, mtu anaweza fanya na sand na jiko ya makaa. But now the challenge is, si hatuna jiko ya makaa. We didn't have. So hao walikuanga nayo. So what happened is, alikuwa ananiambia, when my mom goes to, remember we are two young girls, when my mom goes to work, come, I will give you go try it out. And then before mama rudi jioni, make sure usha rudisha. So it used to be like that. So amenipatia recipe book, but hajani guide the way you're supposed to follow your recipe, the mixing and all that. Mimi nilikuwa tu nafanya, ndasemaje tu, venye tu ninajua tu, so ninakoroga. I remember my small brother was there cheering me up, so ananisaidia, tunakoroga venye tu recipe imesema, but hatuelewi ni nini. Tunaweka kwa sufuria yetu, yeye ndo anaenda ananisosia sand, tunapepeta hiyo jiko inawaka, tunaweka. I didn't know how to check ati keki imeiva. Mi tunasikia tu harufu ati inaanza ile harufu tamtamu ya keki. Si tunajua keki imeiva. Tunaitoa shokonas katikati haijaiva. But yeye ni nani? Anaita mabeshto wake, so two boys tuko hapo hivyo wanakata. Unaona hiyo part haijaiva? Hiyo inaeko kando. Sasa ile imeiva. Alafu ananiambia, that was a very nice cake. Kesho tunakuja. So they encouraged me irrespective of not isikuwa imeiva, walikuwa bado wananiambia hii keki ni tamu. So nikaanza kuwa inspired, nikaanza kuwa encouraged. So na mimi I'm very shy. I used to be quite shy, not talkative, but sijui nguvu ilitoka wapi ya kuongea. So kumbuka keki zangu hazijaiva. Every time I would walk around, anybody that knew me, nilikuwa namwambia venye najua kubake keki imeiva, ya nini, ya wedding cake, ya birthday cake, na hakuna keki imeiva, hata sijui decoration, but ile tu kujigamba tu, just praising myself. So one day somebody had me, alikuwa tu amesimama nyuma yangu tu, mimi nimejigamba yangu yote. So akasikiza, mimi nikamaliza tu kuongea, akaniambia, hey, hi, how are you? You bake cakes? Nikamwambia, yeah, very good cakes. No, so I need a birthday cake for my girlfriend. It was a male guy. Nikamwambia, yeah, I can do a very nice cakes. How much do you charge? Mimi hata ninajua kucharge. I don't know. Hakuna keki imeiva. Hapa nasema najua kudecorate. Najua kutengeneza birthday cake, sijawahi hata decorate. Mimi yangu yenye inatoka kwa sufuria, tunakata yenye haijaiva, tunakula yenye imeiva. So mi hiyo haikuwa inanishtua. So nikamwambia the first amount that came to my mind was 500 shillings, and he gave me cash. It was on a Wednesday. I can never remember because that was my first order. So akanipatia 500, akaniambia on Friday nataka keki jioni. I take the money. I am so happy. Nimeenda nikiambia Mungu, thank you for my first order. Thank you. So it was where I was and where the house was, it was quite a distance. So halfway through it hit me. Nimechukua pesa wenyewe, sijui huyu mtu. Those days simu bado hazikuwa zimefika hizi cell phones. So sijui kudecorate keki ijaiva. Siwezi peleka keki ya wenyewe kama ijaiva. So what do I do? So now I started telling God, sasa wewe ulifanya nifungue mdomo yangu, sasa ona hii shida. Nitafanya nini? So as I'm going home now I became emotional. Because now what do I do? I'm in a fix. But I remembered my friend. Unaona mwenye ananisaidia na jiko. Nikaenda kwake, nikamwambia she's called Chela. Nikamwambia Chela, you know what, mimi nimepata order, ndo hii pesa nimelipisha. Mimi hakuna keki imeiva, mimi hata sijui kudecorate, unisaidie tu. So she's like, ni sawa, I'll help you. So they were up class. So hata oven wako nayo na nini. So akasema we talk to the mom atusaidie tutumie oven. So the mom used to love me. So she said it is okay. So the following day akaniandikia list, go and buy 1 2 3 4 5. I went and bought. Kwa hiyo 500 change ilikuanga 1 bob. Na hiyo ndo nilienda kumlipa nayo. Nikamwambia hii ndo change, hii ndo nimekulipa nayo. But we did the cake. It wasn't as pretty, but to me it was the most beautiful cake. So hapo ndo akanionyesha creaming method, akanionyesha vipimo, akanionyesha packaging. Sikuwa hata najua cake board ni nini, sikuwa najua cake box. Yani I think me too, it was just pure humble beginnings. But now from there, wacha sasa hivi yenye nilikuwa najigamba, sasa hii nilikuwa na puliza tarumbeta sasa. So now this cake, you see my change is 1 shilling. We didn't have a cake box, we hadn't bought a cake board. So she improvised, tukatumia carton. But hii carton, I think ilifunguliwa mara 100. Between my house and where I was to drop the cake, everyone that I met, ndo hii. kazi yangu, umeona, mulete order. So now from there, now things started changing for me. So pole pole God brought people in my life. Mmoja kanilipia shule, nikasoma basic cake baking and decorating. The one I went to teach me was a friend we had met like a few years before. She was actually my mentor in another department. So she had also changed careers, akakuwa cake baker. She was very good. So we are still friends up to now. So she taught me, I finished my course, she employed me. So you see the way God was working. So sasa ameona, huyu akona hiyo nitangoje passion. So she employs me. I think I stayed with her for like 1.5 years. Then nikamwambia, if I stay here, me I will not follow what my heart wants. So I went, opened like a small shop. So kwa mali, okay, the shop that where it was located, ungeuza keki peke. So nikaanza kutengeneza mikate. So I used to sell bread, I used to sell cakes, I used to sell chapos, I used to sell uji. Yes. Wow. You learn ile kazi nimefanya. So unajifundisha juu sasa client ndo wana demand. Siwezi utupatia keki peke yake. And then walikuwa watu wa kazi nzito. So unaona wanasema si tunataka uji, hatutaki chai. So kila kitu yenye wanaitisha mimi naeka. Waliniambia tu mradi inakupatia nguvu. And then pole pole, if they want a sweet thing, now they come and take some cake slices. Now from there I started getting orders for big cakes, wedding cakes and all that. Then an opportunity came for me to join Top Chefs. Now my journey in enrolling in Top Chefs is another one that ndasema tu it was orchestrated by God. This school only takes 24 students per every 2 years. So when I went to inquire, I was told that the class was full. It was starting in 2 weeks time. I'd gone in September, it was starting in October. So nikaambia nirudi after 2 years. Mi nikauliza, now after 2 years, mi mnaniuliza nitakuwa wapi? So I was talking to the administrator, alikuwa anaitwa Harrison. So Harrison tells me, no, you know Mary, the class is already full. Nikamwambia, is there anything I can do? Akasema, you can do an interview tukuweke on a waiting list. But hata hii waiting list bado iko na watu wengi. Na the director of the school is the one who prioritizes. So the way now I'm from Top Chef, I'm an alumni. If somebody who is related to me wants to join Top Chef, they will consider them. You're getting? Yeah. So wakaniambia hapa, this is what happens. Okay. So akasema, wewe hatukujui, unataka kukuja shule, but the class is already full, he can't take more than 24, so you come after 2 years. Mi nikaambia Harrison, you know what, kama hii mi ndo napaswa kuwa hapa, I will come, hata kama ni 24 students mmejaza, kama ni Mungu amesema ni yangu. So mi nipatie hizo interview, mi nifanye. So it was oral interview, there was IQ and maths test, I think, and you basic know-how in the kitchen and all that. So I did and I passed. Nilipita hata kushinda wenye wamepatiwa hiyo opportunity. So when the administrator now was being told later, aliona results zangu, akafurahia, akasema niwekwe front kabisa. So unaona kuna waiting list, kuna number 1 2 3, mimi nilikuwa huko mwisho, so nikarudishwa nikaeko. So in case after 2 weeks one of the students doesn't join, I can be given the slot. So I was told to call after 2 weeks. I called. So calling, nikaambiwa 22 students have joined, 2 have not. One was sick and the other one amesema bado atajoin. So nikaambiwa call after another week. So I call after another week. I'm told one has joined, the one who was sick amesema anajoin but bado. Nikaambiwa unfortunately shule imejaa. Mi nikaambia Harrison, okay, ni sawa, inamaanisha Mungu wako anataka nikuwe hapa. But nikamwambia, but in case tu, I was determined, in case tu, wetu niambie. So the one who was sick joined. So si nikaambia slot iko full. Mi nikaendelea na maisha yangu, niende niuze tu keki wangu, uji na nini. So like a month later, I got a phone call from Top Chefs. It's Harrison. Akaniambia, hi Mary, how are you? Are you still interested? Nikamwambia, yes, but si shule ilijaa na mimi siwezi ngoja miaka 2. Akaniambia, you know, one of the students got a scholarship to go, I think, study in Canada or sijui where, and he's decided to take the scholarship. So there is a slot remaining and we want you to start immediately. So akaniambia, come today, I give you a list of what you want, and then tomorrow you start school. Simi nilikimbia teketeke. Nikaenda akanipatia list, vitu zingine hata sijui zinanuliwa wapi, zingine ni expensive, kumbuka si hatuna pesa. So me, I spoke my heart out. Nikamwambia Harrison, as we don't have money, so mtanikubalisha, because the fees is, those who know Top Chef, fees iko kubwa. So nikamuuliza, mtanikubalisha nilipange pole pole, because there are people who are paying like $500,000 for the whole 2 years, because it's a 2-year course at that time. Akaniambia ni sawa, mradi after every 6 months you've cleared what is meant to be cleared for 6 months. Nikamwambia ni sawa. So that's how I joined Top Chefs. So now from there I did my 2-year course, and then I got employed, and that's where now my chef journey began. But kumbuka, my baking journey began before. But sasa venye nimeenda shule, it became dormant, because this is a full-time thing. And then within the course of 2 years, you posted in hotels. So my first training nikapostiwa for 6 months in Mombasa. So you see, I can't run a business and I'm far away. And in those who know the hotel industry, you work from early in the morning till late in the night, depending na shift na ile department umepostiwa. And then you being a trainee, huwezi complain. So now I had like to close business kabisa, and then I concentrate on my studies. I finished, I got employed, and then nika concentrate tu na employment tu kawaida. So now changamoto sasa ikakujia. Now a few years into employment, now I became sick. So now with sickness comes financial constraints. So when I was employed, let me take you back a bit, because I was concentrating a lot on my business, not the business, my employment, because I had goals. Mimi nilikuwa najua napanda ngazi in employment, nilikuwa nimejua by year 2 I want to be like this, the way unajipangia. But unfortunately, after employment, the second year, because I got employed in 2013, in 2015 now I started becoming sick. Na nile tu kakitu tukana kugonga, unaenda hosi, unatritiwa hivyo. It didn't seem it was like something that was serious. So pole pole tu ninaenda natibiwa, hii mara sijui nimefaint, naenda naambiwa damu iko chini, napatiwa dawa za damu. Mara sijui kichwa inauma sana, naenda napatiwa painkillers, naambiwa relax, vitu nyingi tu sana. So now towards mid of 2015, it was frequent, because I remember you see, a month has like 4 weeks. 2 weeks in a month, me I'm at home, niko mgonjwa kabisa, nafanya kazi wiki 2, narudi tena nakuwa mgonjwa.
At that time ulikuwa na stay home ama you are staying alone?
Now I had moved after school. I moved now. Sasa ndo nimeanza to ka humble beginning. Uko na kanyumba kako, kamshahara, uko kwanza satisfied juu sina kulipia rent. So I was in my own house. That's why I was doing my 2 orders, but orders, they were far apart, because now my main concentration was employment. So sikuwa na concentrate sana na biashara, but kauda kakikuja si nitafanya. So sasa na I became sasa pole pole tu sick. Siku moja mdosi akaniita akaniambia, Mary, no, you're becoming so sick. Na hizi hospitali unaenda juni, naenda tu hizi tu za mtaa. Hizi clinic unaenda, they're just treating the symptoms. So you go to Kenyatta, wakupime, then they know so that we know. He even included himself, so that we know if it's something serious or not and how to treat it, because the way you sick like this, it's not kawaida. So he gave me time out, na si nikaenda hosi. Nikaenda nikafanyiwa test zote. It took like 2 weeks hivi kupata all results, and then now I was told to go to see a neurologist. So I went, nikapelekwa kuona neurologist KNH, na ndo sasa now they diagnosed me with Myasthenia gravis. It is a neuromuscular autoimmune disorder which is rare. And the unfortunate thing about it is that madaktari hawajui vitu mob sana juu yake, so it became quite challenging, especially the initial stages juu uko na maswali but daktari hajui atakujibu aje. And then with the diagnosis now came the heavy burden ya madawa juu madawa at that time include pia tests zilikuwa zina come around 120,000, na hizi ni vitu nimeambiwa I will have to live on the medicine for the rest of my life. And then kumbuka I'm still newly employed, ndo naanza kujipanga kimaisha, kamshahara ni ndo maisha inaanza kai maisha ndo sasa unaona venye ilikuwa sasa inaanza kushika sasa. Niko ka solo life, ndo sasa unaanza kuangalia ni tu vitu gani unaweza ukabai, tu curtains hizo zote. But sasa exactly ukisikia watu wanaenda sijui outing wapi, ndo hiyo sasa hata ufikiri mambo ya kusave. But the unfortunate thing was now I was diagnosed and I was put on medication, and those medication hata sikupatia time ati venye unaambiwa enda utafute pesa. Niliambiwa ukitoka hapa enda town nunua, there is no time to waste because your body is in bad condition because it attacks your body. Nikaambiwa if you don't follow this advice we are going to bury you. Yenye aliniambia you will die. So
unajua most people akishaambiwa you will die, hiyo ndo kitu ina ring kwa akili yako, ufikiri that kuna second option ya kukunywa dawa. How did that make you feel?
Umaikuwa na stress. What is stress ya kijuju? You know, up until that time I never thought of myself dying. Mi nilikuwa najua watu wengine wanakufa, but mimi nilikuwa najua mpaka tulikuwa na discussion na Mungu. Mimi nilikuwa namwambia mimi nitaishi safi tu miaka zangu 85 and then wewe niongeze zako 10 and then after that mimi unichukue. I knew, but sasa hii daktari anakuambia if you don't take this medication you will die. And the unfortunate fact is that Myasthenia gravis ama MG in short, it's mostly fatal. Most of the people die. So unaona sasa hapo mimi nakaa najua mimi ndo sasa next kukufa, and then it is rare hata hawajui ni kitu yenye if they are open with you wanakwambia hii tunafundisha ngoka subject kwa hiyo masomo yao ya udaktari. So to me, even to see an actual life patient, for some of them it's usually like a miracle. Hatujaiona mtu kaa wewe. At times you go to KNH unapata ni students medic wanafanya rounds, wanaitwa but you have to give consent so that they ask you questions, because most of the nitangwaje no kuna hii kwa career yao, their career path, it's like chances are they might not get to treat a person like me. That's how rare it is. So when they see you now, they are curious, wanaitana mnanika sasa ka meeting, they surround you, they ask you questions because unaona akatu nika subtopic wanasoma kwa vitabu zao. So mimi nilichoose stress. So I remember I was with my sister. The doctor broke the news to me, and when he said I will die, mi dunia iliisha. Sasa ikawa, you zoom out venye unaonanga kwa movies, mtu anaongea lakini akili kwa kwingine. So now I couldn't ask questions. Now the questions I was asking were kwa akili yangu na ni Mungu nauliza. Now it hit me, I can die anytime. I am young, ndo maisha inaanza. Mi sijaolewa, sina watoto, maisha inawezaje isha hivyo?
You are asking God, why me?
Why? It was hard. Sema stress. Me, I never want to relive that time. So my sister, I can see my sister and the doctor conversing, but what they are talking about mi sijui. Mi sasa vita yangu imeenda sasa mimi na Mungu sasa. Stress imeniingia. How? Hii pesa, hizi madawa. Na akasema by the way, hata Kenyatta had to stock hizi madawa because they are expensive. Then akanipatia list ya test zenye nitaenda kufanywa na kwa lab. Akaniambia before mtoke enda kwa lab so that you know how much it is, so that when you come, because hizi test lazima ufanyiwa a few days or even a day before your appointment so that the doctor can see how you're progressing. Ndio ile siku yenye unakuja ujipange na hiyo pesa. So tukaenda lab. Hiyo lab ikasema tukuje not less than 40k for the test. mshahara yangu kwanza hata imefika 40. Haijafika. So si tukaenda town, so ametuandikia list kubwa, tukaenda kila chemist. Huyu ana nini, ana venye unapeana hiyo prescription, unamuuliza hizi ni how much, so anakuandikia, anaandika hapo 140,000, anakuandikia 100 and something thousand. We stress. So stress upon stress upon stress. Sasa ikanishika juu sasa nilijua now my fate has been sealed. Kumbuka the doctor has told me without this medication I will die. I cannot afford the medication. So what happens automatically? Me am a gone case. Me I knew. Mwezi hata itaisha, mi nitaku. So hiyo ndo stress sasa nilianza. And it's day one. Hiyo ndo sasa stress. Sikuwa nafikiria beyond that. Now hata sasa siwezi jiwekea goals juu mi nitakufa. Sasa nimekaa tu mtu hohehahe tu. So I remember my sister akaniuliza how much do you have? Nikamwambia mi mbele nyuma, mi I have 5,000 because remember I had 2 weeks of tests. So hizi tests zimeni drain. So akaniambia instead of going home empty handed from this prescription, wacha hata kama ni tembe moja kwa kila moja atupatie. So tukaenda, tulizunguka by the town, tulizunguka town. Tukapata at least ka pharmacy kako a bit cheaper compared to all of them. So from there nikaambia mi niko na 5k, kwa hizi unaweza nipatia how many of each. So wakagawanyisha, wakanipatia dawa za siku 2 kwa kila. So nikatembeka moja hapo, katembeka ingine hivyo. Akaniambia the journey of 1,000 miles, now that's my sister, starts with one step, start with this. Kesho ikifika tutajua. But mi nataka kujua kesho kutwa itakuwaje. Hii ni leo na kesho. What about the third day? Akaniambia you don't worry. So me I go home. She wanted to accompany me, but me ile stress nilikuwa nimechiu. Nikamwambia I just wanted to be by myself nifikirie. So I come home, she went and she texted every one of my family members. Akamwambia this is the situation. Mtoto ako na stress sana. So first of all don't call her because mi nilikuanga situation mbaya. Hata nilimwambia mimi msinipigie simu, but let's help her where we can. So everybody chipped in and the following day I got the whole amount of money and we bought the drugs for a month. But you see, hii ni kitu nimeambiwa, it's a lifetime thing. Huwezi depend on your family for a lifetime. So what happens? Kutafuta sasa plan B, because I knew yes they love me, but as human beings we get tired and then other people are, you have other things to prioritize upon. So nikajua sooner or later bado mzigo itanirudia, and then I also didn't want kuwa mzigo kwa watu, so I wanted to be dependent on my own. So I go again to God, nikamwambia wewe ndio umeniletea hii shida yote, so let a plan. You need to give me money or medication. But then it was a heart to heart talk. Mimi nilikuwa namwambia teremka chini, kaa hapa. Is it fair you're doing this to me? No. So what do you want me to do? So you bring, if it is not money, bring somebody to bring me the medication, or if it is not that, mi venye tutafanya kama ni manna from heaven, we angusha chini, we leta. So I remember it was 3 months into that, I got a very burning desire that I need to teach. So kumbuka I haven't taught, but I need to teach. So nikapulizia, nika assume for 1 week, nikasikia hapana. Mungu tu anaongea. So what did I do? I go to my FB page, nikaandika tu, anyone who wants to learn how to bake and decorate cakes, please ni contact. So mimi nikaanza kupata watu kutoka hapo. So with the kidogo to utensils I had, that's what we worked on, because I didn't have money to expand. So because that hiyo ndo kitu yenye, the first thing, even with the desire that came, nikaanza kuuliza God, how do I start? Because kama ni equipments, mi niko na, let's say I get 3 students, chenye niko nayo ni ya mtu mmoja. So how do I start? My house is small. I was still starting life, but God told me, start with what you have and where you are. So I started from my house, and that's where I've been up until now. and the students started coming pole 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 pole. Orders, remember, sinilikwambia they were far spaced. So you see how God was coming, ananiletea students, and these are people wameniona tu kwa FB, they haven't seen me physically but they are trusting me. Orders zikaanza nazo sasa, unapata zikaanza kuincrease. So to me that was a miracle from God.
Okay, at this point, health wise ulikuwa aje?
Nilikuwa mbaya. Me I was in, but unang'ang'ana juu bila hii pesa utakufa. Mi kukufa sio option, so mbaya iwe mbaya isiwe mbaya lazima ning'ang'ane. So you'd find at that time I used to see 5 specialists kwa KNH. There was the neurologist, there was the endocrinologist, there was a gynecologist, there was a rheumatologist, and there was a hematologist. Au ni ma specialist. Juu damu sikuwa napata damu kwa mileto ukinipatia supplements, so lazima wangetafuta damu mali imetoka because of the disorders that I had. So that's why all the specialists were, and juu mwili yangu ilikuwa mbaya, within a month I had to see all the specialists, wengine mara 2 kwa wiki. So unaona hiyo bado ni pesa, hizo bado ni matest, hizo bado ni madawa, kuzuia atakupatia dawa zake huyo zake. So it was so hard. I remember the first year from 2015, because I was diagnosed I think in August, up until the following August, for a whole year I was deep into depression. And you see, I'm not a talkative person, so I will not talk. So mi nimenyamaza na nikanyamazilia na shida zangu zote. It went to an extent that even the money that I was getting from the classes, I am saving every dime kununua madawa. Baka kwa nyumba sina chakula. Kwa sasa nakaa najiuliza, is it food that I will buy ama ni medication? But hii medication si ndio itaniweka high. So acha ni medication, ninunue medication. Because nilikuwa, my thinking was, when nikienda shift sintakula huko job. But nasahau, because I used to have 2 days off on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday sina food ya kukula. Nilikuwa nanunua tu unga ya uji, so nakoroga uji, and these medications are so strong, but nakunywa uji, then I take my medication. Health wise, these medications zinakuja kwanza, zina cause commotion kwa mwili yako. Before mwili ikubaliane na madawa, so many things will happen, such that unapata my head, kichwa ilikuwa inafura to an extent that my neck cannot support the head. Isipo support, kichwa inaanguka. So I used to at times be put on a neck brace. And remember, as the head is expanding, kuna pressure. So the migraines that I would have, they were so severe. So I used to be on very strong painkillers. Na hizi painkillers sio tutapatio brand moja, ati uambie tuseme, let's say an example, Panadol. Because hata ukipatio Panadol, it will work for 1 or 2 days, then ikatae nguvu, unarudi tena hospitali, you're given a stronger brand. So it used to be like that. Mwili unapata asubuhi, unaona venye nguo kama hizi zimenitosha, asubuhi zitanitosha vizuri hata viatu. Then as the day progresses, mwili ina fura, I think it used to retain fluids or something. So by saa 6, I'm a chef, we are in shoes, strong shoes, miguu imefura, haiwezi toshea tena kwa kiatu, natoa kiatu. By saa 10, we used to be in trousers, so unajua unafunganga hapa, mwili imefura, sasa unafungua tu kila mahali. Na sasa umefungua zip, umefungua buttons, trouser itaanguka juu, si umefura, so umefit. By jioni, juu we used to work from morning till evening, hakuna kitu yenye inakutosha. So it meant that even my wardrobe changed. Sasa nikaanza kuvaa dera, the loose fitting clothes. If it's the shoes, nilikuwa na opt hizi zinaitangwa je, akala za masaizi za uzi, so that miguu ikifura na stretch. So that used to be life. The symptoms of what I suffer from the first one is drooping eyelids. So ukiangalia macho yangu vizuri haifungukangi kabisa. Ukiniangalia unaweza dhania mimi nalala, but I'm not asleep. It's just because the muscles in my eyelids, on my eyelids, are weak. With that comes muscle weakness, general weakness. So una suffer from fatigue, unachoka haraka. Basic things like combing your hair, so unaona kuna muscles hapa zikiwa weak, you can't even lift your hand. So hata tuseme ningekuwa shule napatio panu ati uinue, singeweza. So things like even cooking huwezi, so hata kazi ikawa ngumu kufanya. But you see, I can't resign because I need that job, because uto tu pesa bado tuna supplement ingine. So kulikuwa na muscle paralysis whereby you can walk and then miguu inakata kufanya kazi. So at times either uanguke, saa zingine unajipata umeanguka, ama saa zingine unakakaa kistatue, unatembea then miguu imekata kufanya kazi. So unasimama hapo up until when your brain and your nerves intangoje communication channel open. Juu nikaa communication channel ime block, because your mind, your brain is telling your legs walk, but hiyo communication haifiki. So akili yako, your brain is walking, inaona takwambiaje, the action, but this one is not fulfilling. So unasimama hapo tukaa zuzu tu, sorry to say that, but you can't show people. So kama juu imenipata mara mob nikiwa town, unasimama tu, unajiangalilia magari, unajiangalilia buildings up until the communication channel opens up, then you start walking.
Okay, mentally, how are you dealing with this?
It was torture. Remember, even if you tell your family or your friends, they will understand, yes, but they are not in your shoes. And then kuna hii mentality, kwani hauponangi. So things like osha nyumba, mi siwezi osha nyumba. It used to be quite difficult at that time, but somebody else is like, kitu hata tu kidogo kaa kuosha vyombo ama kutandika bedi na kushinda, kwani what are you? You see, they can't understand. I don't blame anybody. So it became quite hard, but throughout the years I've met a few people who have the same disorder as me. We formed a group, a WhatsApp group, and also a society. Na hapo ndo, if you have unataka kuvent, unaweza vent hapo ukiwa na maswali, because we understand each other. Umeelewa, because we are walking the same journey. So mi nikiwa na shida nitaka niwaambie yenyewe, today me am sick, niombeeni. Those who are close can come and visit, vitu sasa kama hizo, just to offer each other support, and that has been instrumental in the healing process, not only for me but also for the others. Tunaenda tukidiscover each other. Kuna wengine pengine wakiona story yangu, they get in touch, wanasema I'm newly diagnosed, how do I go that? Because it's a lonely journey, because nobody understands. Juu utasemaje, wezi chana nywele yako, wezi chana, wezi hata jivalisha. Saa zingine unaona kujivalisha si inahitaji muscles, wezi. Saa zingine hata kuinuka kwa hii seat inakuwa ni shida, una hiyo nguvu. But ukiambia mtu nimelemewa, na saa hizo 2 minutes ago ulikuwa sawa, you see, they see like you're pretending, but you're not pretending. So those are the things that we usually go about, we usually suffer from.
Why? Na kutravel, how do you travel?
So mi lazima nijipange, siwezi amka na nika travel, because I have to put into place that the traveling might affect my body, especially if it's long distance. So let's say ninaenda kikazi mahali, I'll have to travel like 2 days before. Day 1 ni ya kutravel, day 2 ni ya kupumzika, just to let your body rest ndo uanze kazi. And if kazi ni ile nzito, lazima even after work ni kuena time ya kupumzika before ni resume normal schedule. So ni kujipanga tu, because at times weather climate changes. So unaona kama leo kuna jua, letu uniambie niende Kisumu ama kwingine mbali kuna baridi, hiyo transition hiyo ni affect papa. So I also have to put in facts what the weather is on the other side, ndo niende kama nimejitayarisha.
Now go back to business. How is business so far?
So as I told you, students started coming in, so pole. So huyu nikimaliza kufunza, I take photos, I post on Facebook, watu wanaona by the way anaweza fundisha. So pole tu, students started coming, orders started increasing, business started growing, and nitasema in 2020 now, when COVID came, the hotel industry was affected kabisa. So kwa kuafektiwa, nakumbuka hoteliers ilishatiwa down. The hotel industry was shut down a couple of times, so it meant we were put on an unpaid leave. Sisi hatukufutwa kazi, but unfortunately there are other hoteliers that walifutwa, but sisi where I was working hatukufutwa kazi, so tulipatiwa tu unpaid leave. But you see, madawa ni zile zile, so eti ugonjwa itajiambia juu ni COVID wachi tu tutulie. So ile tu mutaratara tu ndo ile tu. So I had to look to be more proactive in getting students, let me say more students, because unakumbuka hiyo time nobody wanted to order from outside. Juu nani anakupikia ako aje, juu hatukuwa tunajua about COVID, sio kaa sahi. So kila mtu alikuwa kama ni kupika unajipikia kila kitu. So even cake business went down, catering business went down. So ikawa ni nini, ni inatangoje students peke. And also that was hard for me because kumbuka the government walikuwa nasema people with pre-existing disorders take care, juu COVID ndo itakuhit. So mi nikajua hii 2020 mi sioni nikisurvive. So even visitors sikuwa nataka, but my students, now I had to shut my classes, but my students got tired of staying at home, so waka insist na mi sinataka pesa. Wengine wakaniambia hata kama tuko na arrears, wewe wacha tukulipe yote ndo tukuje. So now I don't have any excuse. Mi nikaambia God, me still need medication, I still need rent, I still need everything. So our students, mi nitafungua classes wakuje, kama ni kukufa wacha tu nikufe hustle, because there is no otherwise. So now the students started coming in, and others on Facebook started seeing nyewe ameanza kufundisha, and people were tired of staying in the house indoors, and wengine walikuwa lose job, so si wanakuja na wa train. So now from 2020 na it became, ndasemaje, ili ni sustain sasa vizuri sana even without my salary, because it catered for all of my needs kabisa. So now that's where now I could see the actual growth of it. Mpaka sasa nika move houses, ikabidi nimetafuta house kubwa ndo itu accommodate, because I used to be in a small house, and that is where I am up until now.
So at this point when you went to the hospital, you told about your medications and everything, your boss understood you?
Yes. Now what I prayed about is for God to make my boss understand. Remember we tumeanza naye when I was whole, now I'm healthy, now I've started becoming sick. Na hii sio kitu yenye ati umegonjeka malaria after 2 days utakuwa sawa. Hii ni on and off. So you see, you need somebody who understands you, and I couldn't afford losing this job. So I prayed for wisdom. So chenye chote daktari ananiambia, mi sikuwa nashikanisha, because everything is foreign to me. Nilikuwa namwambia andika chini na uaddress it to my boss. Mi naenda namwekea kwa ofisi yake kwa desk asome. My prescription naenda na photocopy ndo asione. Ni unaona kuna ile stigma na kuna discrimination. So stigma unaambiwa unajifanya, so sitaki anione ni kama najifanya. Even if colleagues wanaona nika najifanya, mi sijifanyi, but if he understands hata nifuta kazini, au wengine nitajua venye nitadili na hao, but him, because he's the one who is providing for my salary, my source of income, huyo ndo nilikuwa nataka understand. So everything that I could even get on the internet na photocopy naenda namwekea, anasoma. Uzuri, he loves learning, he loves knowledge, so he used to go through it. Whatever the doctor tells me, when he comes, I get him, okay, I go to his office, namwambia I need a minute from you, and I explain myself to him. And also he saw from there my body was changing, so that when he reads through that, he will know that I cannot control this, that I am not pretending, because some of my colleagues used to think that I'm pretending, because I don't blame them, because 1 minute niko sawa, the next minute I'm not able to do that. So hata a normal human being ataona huyu nikaa kujifanya, but I wasn't. It's the way the condition is. So with that, uzuri ilikuwa he read about that. So it came handy because when the stressful environment in my workplace became so much, he came now and stood in between me and my colleagues, such that if anyone had a problem with me, in case let's say of my performance, I'm getting too sick, wengine wanasema ai unashindanga ukigonjeka, they would go straight to him. Aliwambia, you come and complain to me. And remember, he's informative now, so even if they go and complain to him, there's not much that they will gain because he's there to protect me. So he did that for so many years, and I'm always grateful for that, because alini, with that stress, I think nilipata comfort knowing that at least there's one person who is able to help me in whatever little way or big way that he can be able to. And at that time, my job was so important to me because I couldn't afford losing your job to your pesa. So he came at a point that I really needed him, and I'm always grateful for that.
Okay,
Yes.
and how is business?
Business is good. I can say yote ni juu ya Mungu. God has been faithful, and because it's something that I didn't do it by my own strength. I had to seek God in that, so he's been guiding me throughout. If it's clients, ananiletea clients, students, analeta students, because most of my students, I've never met them. I've only met them when they've come for the physical classes. They call, wanasema, oh, we've gotten your number from maybe Facebook, from IG, or it's a recommendation. How are your classes? We usually start that conversation on call, and then now when they enroll is when I meet them physically for the first time. And I'm happy to say that all of my students, wote wenye wanaendanga, they usually leave tukiwa very good friends, because when they come here, it's more than formal learning. It's a place whereby when you come, kama uko na roho yako haiko sawa, we will comfort you. We will walk with you. If you're crying, tutalia na wewe. If you're laughing, tutacheka nawe. You've seen the way they joke. So I give them also the freedom to joke, to talk about their issues, to express themselves, and learn at the same time. So there's never a dull moment in class.
What's business? What's your business to you?
My business is everything. It's what gives me my takwambiaje, it puts food on the table, it pays my rent, it gives me the passion, the desire, and the fulfillment that I need to wake up every morning knowing that there are orders that I'm working on, there are students that I'm coming, that I teach, because my fulfillment, my joy is to see the students get orders, because even before they finish their course here, wanakuanga washaanza kupata orders because I train them, so they get an order. At times inawachezea 1 2 3, wananipigia simu, mama, they come, we do it here. When I have orders, I usually take that time for it to be a teaching moment whereby they observe what I do, they ask questions, and you see they're gaining more and more confident, and more in they are growing in the profession that they've chosen. So by the time they leave the school or they finish their coursework, they've already started having clientele, and they've already started getting orders, so they are confident in what they are doing, and their businesses become successful. Yes, and that is my joy. Yes.
So a younger entrepreneur is looking up on you, unaweza mwambia nini?
Nitamwambia aanze polepole, start small and grow with your business. Biashara itakangi haraka. Biashara, it needs you to be consistent, it needs you to be passionate, it needs you to be self-driven, because at times unaweza pata, let's say unauza nguo online, hauna sales hata wiki moja, it's not time to give up. Be consistent, be passionate, put God first, because God is the one who will open doors for you, and these are doors that even a human being may not think that unaweza ukafungua hizo milango, but Mungu anakufungulia. So if you keep God first and you do all those things, inakuwa it becomes easy with you, because as your business grows it teaches you so much, so you grow with your business and you expand with your business. Don't start high na hauja build clientele, hauja kuwa na hiyo know how and all that. So anza pole pole, make all the mistakes that you can while on ground level, and then pole pole tu enda tu kipanda ngazi.
Yeah, now where can someone get you kama nataka kuja classes?
Okay, I am on Facebook. Facebook, I go by the name Chef Marykate, Kate with a K. On IG, I go by the name Marykate Minor, still with a K. That's one word. Facebook bado ni one word. And also my contacts, you can call me on 0723719021. Yes.
Wow. And that's it for today with Chef Marykate. If you got inspired, kindly subscribe hapo chini and enroll for classes. She's here for you. And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed our video, and if you did, fanya ile kitu. Till next time, bye bye.